right, guys, we got Ryan O'Reilly and Vince Dunn here, so go ahead and raise your hand if you have a question. We'll start with Jeremy Rutherford. Go ahead. JR, go ahead.
Hey Ryan, just looking at the matchups, you played some against Pedersen this year. What do you think makes him so good, and how do you look ahead to that matchup?
Well, obviously he's an elite player, elite scorer. You see the way he reads the game and the positions he puts himself in. He's always a threat, and playing against that, it's you always got to be aware of him, and tight to him. Make sure and you kind of any chance you can step in his way and just making it difficult on him. But yeah, it's definitely a big challenge that we'll have.
Jim Thomas, go ahead next.
Yeah, question for Vince. Vince, you missed about 2 weeks of hockey. Can you speak at all to what kept you off the ice?
I'm not going to speak about what it was, but obviously it was tough, and especially jumping right into the playoff mode. Everyone kind of had to do it, and taking that extra time off for myself, it was definitely a little bit harder, but I think I did what I had to do to get ready for these next games, and I'm just looking forward to the playoffs to get started.
Just a quick follow-up, if I could, Vince. Do you feel like you're back on your game now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm 100%. Obviously, the first game was a little bit hard to adjust, but I think now with some extra practices and stuff, I think I'm back to speed.
All right, Lou Korak, go ahead.
Ryan, when you look at the regular season numbers, both you and Vancouver, very successful power play units, maybe around the middle of the pack PKs. So when you look at this series, is it going to be even more imperative, discipline-wise, whoever's the more disciplined team, to try to stay out of the box and keep the others' power play units off the ice?
Yeah, that's going to be a big focus. Yeah, for us is being disciplined, and over these last kind of round robin games, we haven't really found that. So it's, we know we're going up against a great power play. It starts with that, staying out of the box, and when you can do that, it's tougher. It kind of their best players aren't handling the puck as much, and yeah, it's definitely a focus for us. It's a very good team over there, and it's going to be difficult either way, but that's definitely a staple that we have to have.
All right, next question from Dan Rosen. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, Ryan, Vancouver is a young team, a lot of guys who've never before this played playoff hockey. If this was a normal year, you would have had no film on them in the playoffs, nothing about how they would handle the situation. Do you get a better read on a team because they played a series, even if it was a 5-game series against Minnesota, and won it, as opposed to if they were coming in fresh off the regular season?
Yeah, I think that helps with preparation a lot. You see that series, how hard both teams play. You saw how physical they were. You saw their speed. I think that helps us, obviously, be able to see their tendencies and prepare for them. So it's definitely an advantage being in the situation, be able to see that. But, yeah, putting in the time and doing the right things.
Next question from Stephen Wino. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey guys, thanks for doing this. Ryan, you guys went through the Western Conference last year to get to the Cup final. How does it stack up to you this year with really looks like 4 or 5 different teams that can win it all?
We look back to last year, it was kind of, we were confident in our group, and we just took it one series at a time. And there's obviously a lot of depth around the league. There's very good teams, but again, we're not focused on that. Our only focus right now is Vancouver. We have to play our best to beat these guys. We can't look at it any other way and get ahead of ourselves. It's preparing right now and getting ready to win game 1.
All right, Ben Kuzma, go ahead.
Hey, it's a question for Ryan. Ryan, David Perron is with his 3rd tour of duty in St. Louis, has another 20-goal year, 25 goals right there with you for the team scoringly. What makes him so effective, Ryan, and why has he been able to endure for so long?
Well, I think the way he competes, and you see how heavy he is on the puck. I remember just before this playing against him, and you're always battling, and it was always a tough challenge. And you see this year how, and obviously years past as well, he competes and he works, and then he's got one of the best, I think, releases that you put that puck anywhere inside him, whether it's in his feet or a little ahead of him, and he's able to shoot it, and it makes for a real dangerous threat anytime he's on the ice. So it's impressive to see, and definitely a huge reason why we're in the position we are now.
Tom Timmerman, go ahead with the next one.
Vince, even though the goal yesterday ultimately didn't count, was that good for your spirits going into this to get that to get sort of a goal?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the overall game for me from the team was a lot better of a feeling going into the first game of playoffs. I thought we competed a lot harder than we did in the games before, and it was definitely another tough loss for us. But the offense will come for me, and I can't really say it was nice to score because it didn't happen. But at the time it was nice. But overall, I think just the way that we worked and the way that we played that game was a little bit of a better feeling going into this first game. I know that we're not quite where we want to be, but I think we still have some time right now to tighten up a few things and make sure we give ourselves the best chance going into the first round.
All right, next question from Jim Morris. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you. Ryan, the Canucks are coming off this emotional high of winning their series in three games. Winning their series. They had an big overtime win. They're going to come in very emotional, very high. How do you? It will be important to counter that early on, not let them sort of really they already believe in themselves, but not really start letting them think they believe in themselves against you guys.
Yeah, I think we know that. I think after playing a series like they did and winning that, they're going to be coming in very excited and feeling good. And for us, it's we got to bring the attention to our game and our details. We have to establish our physicality right away. We got to show them that this is going to be a hard series and they're going to have to earn everything. And again, that's just focusing on those little details and getting playing to our identity.
Thank you.
Jim Thomas, go ahead to the next one.
Yeah, for both Vince and Ryan, if you guys don't mind, Vancouver played you guys really tough in the regular season. Is there anything about that matchup that makes them tough to play against?
I think they're just very deep, top to bottom. They're a very, very offensively skilled team, and they have D that are very mobile and very active in the play. They have great goaltending too. So from top to bottom, they're lethal defensively and offensively. So at any point in time, we can't take our foot off the gas. So for me, I think just playing them very tight, having a defensive mind out there. We know that they have guys that can score goals and guys that they're hoping can shut our guys down. So I think just keeping ourselves at the top of our game at all times, that'll give ourselves the best chance.
Kind of similar to that. They're a very, very good team. They don't have much of a weakness in any area. So it's, we know it's going to be an extremely difficult series to win. Throughout the regular season, they played us very well, and it's good to know. It's good to know that we're, nothing's going to come easy. We have to earn this, and it's going to be extremely difficult.
Jeremy, go ahead with the next one.
I'm going to win the prize for weirdest question here of the day. Ryan, being a music guy, did you ever wonder why they play the West Virginia song in St. Louis? And, I know it's old hat now, you've heard it a million times, but at any point did you ever listen to the arena sing it and think it was pretty cool?
It's a pretty cool thing when you're on the bench and everyone starts singing it. It's an awesome thing. Definitely something that I think you miss when you're out there playing, those kind of interactions and having your home crowd do stuff like that. It's definitely something you miss. But I don't really know the story behind it, but I definitely miss it for sure.
But pretty bizarre that West Virginia is a thing in St. Louis.
It's not not something that, but I guess Missouri feels it's it's like it's a very big town, and there's a lot of outdoorsy stuff, and I guess kind of similar to West Virginia, I would think, but I don't know a ton, but it's definitely really cool.
Thanks.
All right, just a few more for these guys. Let's go to Ben Kuzma with the next one. Go ahead, Ben.
question for either guy here. Can you speak a little bit to Jordan Binnington's rookie year? You guys had that big win in here in Vancouver on November 5th, the 2-1 overtime game. You had 33 saves that night, and after the game, you kind of thought that maybe he should have won the Calder Trophy. How much does that speak to the fire in his belly?
I think we're very confident with both of our goalies. Binner did a great job when he came up with us last year, specifically that win too, like you mentioned. So I think going into the playoffs, no matter which goalie is going to be behind us, we're very confident. And I think, Jordan had a very good year last year. Like you said, it could have been a Calder winner, but I think he doesn't take that personally. I think that just motivates him more, and he hasn't had the easiest path to get where he is right now. So, I think that just helps him motivate himself to want to push himself to be even better this year.
All right, guys, it looks like we got 3 more questions here, so we'll wrap up with those. Lou, why don't you go first?
Vince, other than Scandella, it's pretty much the same group. You have that been there, done that mentality, and what you went through last year, and a lot of guys that have played together. Do you feel like that can be beneficial for you guys going into these series, especially against a team that hasn't been there and the young forward group that they have that maybe, I don't want to say you have an upper hand, but it's certainly maybe an advantage for you guys because you have been there.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to underestimate them. We know they're a great team, but from our experience, I think that definitely helps. And the different situations we've been in, a lot of Game 7s, even throughout last season, a lot of times where we went on losing streaks. I think, adversity like that that we've been through can really help us moving into the playoffs and can help us adapt to any situation that we may come by. So I think just the experience that we all have and, the leadership that we have within our group, from players to coaches, I think that can definitely help us moving into the playoffs.
Tom Timmerman, go ahead with your next one.
Ryan, first a quick follow-up to Jeremy's question. Do you ever find yourself, if you're not on the ice, singing along with Country Roads there with if you're not about to have a face-off?
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's such a catchy song that I think anytime it comes on, wherever you are, whether in a restaurant or in the arena, you definitely catch yourself singing it.
And speaking of face-offs, you've had some pretty good numbers so far. Have you felt good on the dot in these first 3 games?
First game I thought was good. The second one I think it was really good. I was kind of just caught on my strong side every time, so it definitely was an advantage. I was feeling it. Last game I struggled a bit, but that happens. It's it doesn't make or break a game, but I feel confident in my draws. I know, looking at it, Vancouver, they've got some great centermen that really bear down, and it's going to be a tough challenge. But I think if I've got some confidence going in there, and I think I'll do just fine.
Okay, JT, you get the last question. Hopefully not about music.
Well, actually, I got 2 quick ones, and one is about music. Ryan, have you played the guitar with Binnington yet?
We haven't. I haven't busted it out a ton. I've been playing a little bit here and there, brought it in the lounge a couple times, but I haven't played with Binner. I'll have to. We'll see. I think once we get going, we might need a break and be good to get playing.
And a follow-up to face-offs, you and Bo Horvat are arguably the 2 best face-off guys in the league. When you're on the bench and he's out there, do you ever watch him? And what do you think makes him a good face-off guy?
Yeah, he's you look at him, he's extremely strong, and he gets very low, and his timing's very good. I've every time I'm in a face-off against him, you have to bear down, and it's going to be a challenge. He works extremely hard. He's a great player, and it's going to be a tough challenge for sure.
All right, guys, thanks. We'll have Chief here in 1 second.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.